So my mother always used to say whenever I would tell her that, Ma, this film I'm doing and it did well, Kai Puchi. And she's like, oh, super, very nice, but abhi to bigger things are waiting. It's like, wow, that's so nice, thank you. National award, like, oh, this is nice, bigger things are waiting. I think a couple of months back only, I was traveling. Maybe I think I was going from Maalik or some shoot I was going for in a flight to Lucknow. And there was this old couple sitting next to me. There was me, uncle, and auntie was sitting there. And then auntie randomly, uncle was talking to me about, how he likes my work and he likes my cinema. And she's like, I've seen this film, that film. And randomly she just said, K, this is nothing, beta. You see, even bigger things will happen to you. Patra lost her dad in Shimla. He was there for work and he was alone there. Of course, then we got a call that, something happened. He fainted and we rushed. It was also COVID. Like, I was not born with a silver spoon. I was not born with money. I come from a very, very humble beginning. And to have this dream that I want to be a film actor one day was not easy. But that journey has been, of course, had been very exciting, very fulfilling. It never happened that I sat one day on a dining table and announced to my family. Also, because there was no dining table, we used to sitting on the ground. Otherwise, if I would be born in a very privileged family and I want to be an actor, not everyone, but I think there are chances that I would be a very limited actor. Once I came to Mumbai, yes, I think those days when I had that 18 rupees was the lowest. Like, oh shit, the reality hits you. Kaise hoga yaar? I'm in this city, I don't have any money. Then somehow you arrange, your family arranges a little bit of money so that you manage and you work even harder. यार कोई ad मिल जाए कहीं से 10-12 हज़ार रुपए आ जाए तो ये महीना चल जाएगा.
Patralekha told me that apparently the first time you met, you guys were going for an audition or something, and she was accompanying her sister, and
For a
she
shoot,
didn't like you for a shoot, and she didn't like you at all.
Yeah, because she saw me in LSD.
You know, when you don't have a godfather in any business, you need to become your own godfather. I think that's the ethos behind a film like Maalik. When I watched the trailer, I find so many similarities between the character and you, but there are so many times when I feel like you're not the character in real life as well. I'm going to talk about all of that because what my takeaway from the trailer was that this is Raj and this is not Raj. So thank you for joining us in this episode of Nayansense. Rajkummar Rao in the house. Thank you for doing this.
I know, finally.
Kemon acho.
আমি ভালো, তুমি কেমন?
Vishon Bhalo. You know that you have the biggest admirer of yours in my house, who I was just calling and telling, I'm going to meet Raj. Acha, Raj's interview. I'm like, hi, Raj's interview. But Raj, I want to start off with that you came from nowhere. You always wanted to become an actor. There are so many striking similarities if you see the journey of Maalik with how you started. Did you, when you were narrated the story, did that take you back to those days in a way?
The most important line and the line that I really got connected with, which is also in the trailer, is पैदा नहीं हुए तो क्या बन तो सकते हैं मालिक. I really, and not only me, I'm sure there's so many people out there. It's such a universal line. And exactly that's how you rightly said my journey was. Like, I was not born with a silver spoon. I was not born with money. I come from a very, very humble beginning. And to have this dream that I'm going to be a film actor one day was not easy. But that journey has been, of course, had been very exciting, very fulfilling, overwhelming in a way. But yeah, that's the only way I could connect with this. The only way I could connect with this character, Maalik, was the journey of being a nobody, being a helpless guy who's not allowed to do anything else but what his generation have been doing, and to break all those chains, be a rebel, and make your mark. Yeah.
But how did you manage to break that when you decided that you want to act? Because again, you come from a space like that, right? How did you break out of that chain of emotions and thoughts in the family? Was it difficult?
I think it was very organic. It never happened that I sat one day on a dining table and announced to my family. Also, because there was no dining table, we used to sitting on the ground.
But that's the best feeling, I think.
It's the best feeling, yeah. So it was very organic. I used to watch a lot of films with my family, with my friends. I just fell in love with cinema. I was like, I want to do this, yeah. I want to be one of these guys. I was very influenced by actors, seeing their stories, reading about them. And like, I want to do this for life. Must be in class 9, 10th. Like, that's it. I'm going to be a film actor one day. No, not knowing how it happens, what you do. But then, of course, there was theatre happening in Gurgaon. So I started with that. I said, like, yeah, मुझे सीखना है, मुझे करना है. So I started doing stage in Gurgaon. Then after school, I joined another theatre school in Delhi, Shri Ram Center for Performing Arts. Then in my college daytime, there was a theatre group that started after many years. Like, great. It all looks like a sign. Everything is happening for me. Thank you, God. Thank you for being so kind. So I was doing theatre non-stop. I was doing theatre in college. I was doing theatre outside my college in the evening. And then I joined FTI after my graduation. And my mother was very, very supportive of me in everything that I was doing. And again, like, it's not like I planned it. It just kept happening. I think it was just God holding my hand, even now, and just showing me the way. Do this, do that. And God is only taking me everywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm just putting in my hard work. Because, of course, God also helps those who help themselves. So I believe in that. So I'm just doing that. And it just kept happening. I think the doors kept opening up, and I just kept entering those doors and found another world, and then another door, and an FTI, and a new world, and then Mumbai door, and the new world. Yeah, so it's exactly like that.
You also have a very interesting, like, your character actually has a very interesting relationship with his father, right? When you say that your mom supported your dream, how long did your dad take to really understand? Because, you know, our dads, it's not, they can't be blamed because they're conditioned in a certain way. They only want well-being. They want you to have a life, right? But how long did your dad to understand that, no, मेरा बेटा ये करना चाहता है, उसको करने देते हैं, या फिर ये, how long did he take to accept it?
You know, my dad was not really too involved in our life that way. He was in a government job, and he used to be away from home for a while. Like, he would go out in the morning, come back late at night. So it was our mother only who was involved much more in our daily life. So my father, when I started doing theatre, he knew that I was doing theatre, and he was happy that people, you know, his friends would meet my article, some article, local newspaper में article आएगा, or Rajkummar Rao, my photo would come, and of course he would feel very, very happy about it. But he never stopped us. He never asked us any questions that, you know, what's your plan? क्या करना है school के बाद, college के बाद क्या plan है? Because I said I started doing theatre, and I started getting love from my local audience, from the local theatre circuit. And he was very happy seeing my photos in newspapers. So he never stopped me. He never ever stopped me from doing this. And once I joined FTI, when it was time to leave the house, that was the first time I left my house in 21 years. And I'm very, very attached to my family. Of course, I was homesick for first couple of months in FTI. That time, I think, must have hit him, oh, he's actually very serious about it. He's leaving the house and going. But yeah, you know how father-son relationships are. Yeah, it's little complex. They're like, they don't talk much. They're like, I know I love you. I know you love me. But yeah, all the best. Do you think?
But at the same time, Raj, today you have a story to share, right? जब हम बात कर रहे थे about being your own life's Maalik, it's so liberating. But it also sometimes that you question. Like, I'll be honest, like, when I started, I was like, there are days when I feel like, oh, if I had this as a privilege, then maybe things would have come easier to me. But again, on days, I will feel like I'm glad that I don't have that privilege because I have a story to share. Do you also have those days where you feel on both sides of the spectrum?
No, I'm very glad the life I lived, because it made me a better actor. Because those experiences, who are you as an actor? You are about the experiences that you've had in life. Of course, you can learn the art form eventually, but you need to have experiences. And I'm very glad I've had those experiences, because I use that life of mine that I've lived in my performances today. Because I've seen that background. I've seen all stratas of society. I have seen good, bad, and ugly everywhere. So it really helps me as an actor. So I would never ever complain about the life that I had. I'm very glad that I had that life, because otherwise, if I would be born in a very privileged family and I want to be an actor, not everyone, but I think there are chances that I would be a very limited actor.
Yeah. Also, you don't have that sense of entitlement. Sometimes a lot of people do come with that sense of entitlement. What do you do to make sure that today when you're successful, you know, I remember this interview which we had done where you said that you had 18 rupees in your bank account once. Today, of course, there are many zeros to that. But how do you manage to stay the same person and, you know, not have this feeling कि लोगों को लग रहा है कि आप बदल रहे हो?
It's not tough. Why do you have to change? Yeah, I don't want to be an actor. I didn't want to be an actor because I wanted to change myself. And it was never about proving a point to anyone. कि दिखाता हूँ तुझे. ऐसा कोई तुझे था ही नहीं. it was all about only for myself because I fell in love with the art form. Nobody asked me to be a film actor. I wanted to do it for myself. I did it. And I'm very happy I'm still doing it. I'm still exploring these characters. There's new films like Maalik. People are thinking of me to play Maalik. So I'm very happy in my headspace. I don't. So there was never any point to prove to anyone.
But what's the lowest point that you saw in life financially?
Apart once I came to Mumbai, yes, I think those days when I had that 18 rupees was the lowest. Like, oh shit, the reality hits you. कि कैसे होगा यार? I'm in this city. I don't have any money. Then somehow you arrange your family arranges a little bit of money so that you manage and you work even harder. यार कोई ad मिल जाए कहीं से 10-12 हज़ार रुपए आ जाए तो ये महीना चल जाएगा. That happens a lot, but it's exciting. There are no complaints, yeah.
But ऐसे दिन याद है, मतलब कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, जैसे आप घर से दूर रहते हो तो आप कभी कभी दुख, ऐसा नहीं है कि मम्मी पापा शेयर करना नहीं चाहते, बट आप उनको देना नहीं चाहते ना वो स्ट्रेस. ऐसे दिन हुए?
Yeah, हुए हैं. Of course, the reason I didn't call her or my brother earlier before it hit 18 was this only कि यार I think tomorrow I might get something. Tomorrow maybe something would work out. Yeah, so you hold your cards till it's like now you cannot manage, you cannot handle it. Yeah.
I recently did an interview with Nawaz sir, and he said something so beautiful, and he took your name actually. He said that today we are at a stage जहाँ पे हम जैसे actors को value मिलती है, जहाँ पे actors को value मिल रही है, whether it's Manoj sir, you, Pankaj sir, him. He said even Irfan साहब couldn't see that day, like we revere him, but उन्होंने एक चीज़ जो बहुत अच्छी बोल दी कि यार 20 करोड़ से ज़्यादा तो किसी ने उन पे बजट ही नहीं डाला मूवी पे. आज सब बोलते हैं. You have seen those days. You have been a part of that paradigm shift in the industry. How does it make you feel? Because today it's a huge film. See, whatever films you've done, na, they have worked commercially. I to keep telling you that last year was Rajkummar Rao's year. I hope that a national award comes this year, and I'm gonna manifest it. But when you see the paradigm shift where people are putting more money, it's also, does it give you more confidence?
It does, yeah. It does give me more confidence. It does give me more responsibility also. You know, it becomes slightly tougher for you because now if it's also about this being a business model,
yeah.
Right? So you have to have those return as well. But I'm glad, as you said, last year with this year also, like Bhool Chook, Shrikant,
yes, absolutely.
Stree 2 films have done well, and I'm very glad about the fact that people have started going to theaters because that's the only way to watch films, to go to theaters and enjoy that experience. But it's also a responsibility, when the more the budgets, more the responsibilities. So, but still, like, of course, I'm not doing films which are alarmingly high budgeted because I don't want to take that pressure that, I want to choose stories. A story would decide its budget and not the other way around, that you decide a budget and then iske hisab se bhi koi story likho. It's the other way around actually. So I want to do that. I want to pick up stories which are exciting for me, which are offering me something new, which I think can be very exciting for the audience to watch. I want to take that route more than anything else.
But does it sometimes make you feel good about the fact that today when you have such variety of films, there is a different Rajkummar Rao in every movie, and there was a point where you were still an incredible actor back then from the first film and you're still there, but the paradigm shift has at least put that faith that people have in you, because आज मुझे लगता है कि यार you are a typical commercial hero. You know how to dance. It's taken the industry years to give you dance numbers, right? And this is your first action thriller. It's taken the industry so many years to understand that value. Does that pinch you sometimes? Be honest.
You know me. I'm being very honest. Nothing pinches me. I'm happy in life.
But इतने सालों से dance करने का ये था dance.
Okay, not like I wanted to be an actor. Not like I wanted to be an actor because then I could show my dance talent to the audience. I was like, हाँ है वो, जिस दिन कोई dance number आएगा अच्छा वो आ जाएगा. काटी रात gave me that opportunity, मिलेगी gave me that opportunity. मतलब वो जब demand होगी जिस film की जहाँ पे आना होगा वो आ जाएगा. अभी शाहिद में I can't tell
Yes, exactly.
एक कोर्ट में एक promotional song कर दे क्या dance number? Cannot. It won't work for the film. So I was waiting कि हाँ वो correct कोई time आएगा तो आ जाएगा. But people who know me कि हाँ यार कि ये dance भी अच्छा करता है वो my family would ask me. Like my dance teacher would ask me, अरे यार कुछ dance भी करो ना, लोगों को पता है तुम dance भी करते हैं. I said, हाँ, when it has to come, it will come. Again, like because I've been a trained martial artist and not like I was dying to showcase my talent in action. I was waiting for the right script. And not for the first time somebody offered me an action film. It was offered to me before, but there was no story. It was a very weird story with great action pieces. I'm not doing action for the sake of it. I have to be convinced with the story. And Maalik is that story which is so powerful, so rugged, so raw, and I like this story I want to be a part of. And him being this gangster, this action guy is a product, is a byproduct of this character, this story. So that's the reason I said yes to it. But no, nothing pinches me saying कि यार अरे मेरे साथ क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ऐसा इतना कुछ तो हो
पहले
रहा
भी
है।
नहीं होता था,
पहले
जब
भी
when
नहीं
you
होता था।
started.
मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ मैं? And where am I today? What's there to complain? There's only gratitude and nothing else.
I have to ask you this, that now that when we speak about the dissimilarities with the character, is the toxic masculinity. You are nothing like that, right? I interviewed Patralekha, and the best moment from your wedding is the time when you're saying put sindoor, put sindoor on my. Not many men, unfortunately, it's something that everybody should be doing. It should be a norm, but we have to speak about it because it's usually not what men do. You come from that upbringing where your mom has given you that upbringing.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity is celebrated today. How do you manage to stay away from it? Do you think it's only the upbringing, or does it take more?
No, it's upbringing. I think it's the respect that you have for the other gender. And again, like because I've seen my mother struggling so hard, so my respect for the female gender has gone, had always been up, but it's gone way higher after that. So it's the upbringing, and it's about who you are as a person. Yeah, I can never feel that in any way men are superior than women. No,
Absolutely.
Both of them have their own traits. One might be like say physically can be a stronger gender, but emotionally nobody can even touch
Women.
a female gender.
That's true.
Not at all. So I think both have their own. That's why the reason I think God has created like you two now run the world. Yeah, Adam and Eve. Yeah.
But the beauty about you is that Pankaj sir said this wonderfully, that हमारे अंदर एक side पुरुष और स्त्री सबके अंदर होता है.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you celebrate that side in you. That's the beauty. I think that's also a reason why my mom loves you the most. You cater to that.
Yeah.
That audience where people feel like you are their own. It's very difficult to not feel like you are their own. Does that make you happy?
It does. I think that's the biggest compliment when people feel that I'm one of their own, which I am, because I've come from that background. I've come from one of those families only, and I love it when people say, your win feels like our win. There's nothing bigger than that. There cannot be any award, any compliment bigger than that when people celebrate your victory, which is the most beautiful feeling, I think. And I always say this: I'm very bad with, of course, expressing, like taking compliments. I'm very bad with that, but internally it makes me the happiest when people say that. Yeah.
Patralekha told me that apparently the first time you met, you guys were going for an audition or something, and she was accompanying her sister, and
For a
she
shoot,
didn't like you for a shoot,
Yeah.
and she didn't like you at all.
Yeah,
How?
because she saw me in LSD. We were going to Pune from Mumbai, and she saw LSD a couple of, I think, weeks before that. And my impression, maybe I gave a good performance because she thought this is how I am. She believed that guy so much, and she refused to talk to me for a very long time in our journey. Till I only made an effort, like, I have to shoot with this girl for next 3-4 days. There should be some at least ice breaking. There should be some comfort that, hello, how are you? What have you done? So basic small talks I started making. Of course, till she told me that about this ad that she did, which I remember seeing a couple of days back and thinking, what a sweet girl. I wish I could marry her. And then, of course, the moment she said, yeah, I did this ad, like, whoa, that's again, what I was saying.
But at the same time, grief is something that everybody has to deal with in their own way.
Yeah.
Today you are in the most successful part of your career. It's not like you were less successful, but people have opened up to a different version. People have accepted you with a lot more love. Do you sometimes miss not having the biggest supporter and the cheerleader right next to you, celebrating a success like a Stree and like last year, like a Shrikant and everything, Bhool Chook Maaf, and now this?
Of course I do. I do that. I wish, she was here physically as well. But I talk to her every day. I've kept her alive in my heart, and I get signs. I get signs that she's there. You know, I'll share with you. I've only shared it with Patralekha. So my mother always used to say whenever I would tell her that, you know, Ma, this film I'm doing and it did well, Kaipuchi, and she's like, oh, super, very nice, but abhi to bigger things are waiting. It's like, wow, that's so nice, thank you. National award, like, oh, this is nice, bigger things are waiting. I think a couple of months back only, I was traveling. Maybe I think I was going for Maalik or some shoot I was going for in a flight to Lucknow. And there was this old couple sitting next to me. There was me, uncle, and auntie was sitting there. And then auntie randomly, uncle was talking to me about, you know, how he likes my work and he likes my cinema. And she's like, I've seen this film, that film. And randomly she just said, K, this is nothing beta. You see, even bigger things will happen to you. And you know that moment, like, what? So you believe that, oh yeah, it's there, it's all there, nothing, nobody goes anywhere. Yeah.
I think
So
she's there within you. That's the
Yeah.
biggest form of celebration that can happen to any son. I genuinely believe that. And you know, when you speak about grief, because you've gone through that, does it become more responsible of you because you've pulled Patralekha through that as well? Like she's also had one of the most emotional moments when she lost a parent, and she told me about the whole episode and how it was like
man.
they were not there almost.
Oh yeah, that's of course it happened. Like Patra lost her dad in Shimla. He was there for work and he was alone there. Of course, then we got a call that something happened. He fainted and we rushed. It was also COVID, pandemic was going on, and we rushed. And my dear friend Love Ranjan, he also came with us. He came running to the airport that you can't go alone. You need people there with you. And the hardest thing for anyone to do in life is to break the news that you've lost your loved one.
Yeah.
And that happened with me, and I carried it for 15-20 minutes till of course I got to know about it earlier, but I didn't want to break that news to her in a car. So we reached the hospital, and man, that was the most, like, the hardest experience that I'm sure Patralekha saw, and I had to. But I'm glad I was there with her.
Yeah.
It's of course me being there would change nothing, but just it was of course the toughest time that any child can go through to lose your parent.
But I want to tell you both that the beauty is that you are kids to a lot of other moms as well.
Yeah, I know.
And that's you carry that goodwill from all the mothers, and nobody can beat the power of moms.
Yeah.
And being a Bengali, I cannot go without asking this, because I think we were discussing it when I was in Calcutta earlier this week. And you are going to play somebody who is like an emotion. And by the way, he's my neighbor. I am from Behala. So बचपन में जब कोई बोलता है ना बेहाला, I'm like, excuse me, you know where Behala is? We are Dada's Para. We say Para, right?
Para.
Neighborhood. So, there's nothing. I think the happiest is my mother that you are playing Sourav Ganguly. Now you're prepping, right?
Yeah.
So how has the prep been? Are you going to shoot in Calcutta a little bit of it?
Of course, we will certainly shoot in Calcutta. I'm going to meet Dada also very soon. So now we have pushed the shoot to next year. So right now, soft prep has started. I started preparing for it. Being a left-handed batsman would be very tough because I'm a right-handed batsman myself. But it would be fun. It would be very exciting. Patra's mom is very happy. All my Bengali friends are extremely happy.
That's true.
All my cricket lover friends are extremely happy that I'm playing Dada. It's a big responsibility, I know, but I'm so excited for it because I did Bose in 2017.
True.
Now I'm doing Dada. So I think
all emotions. Bengali emotions.
There's some Bengali connect I have, I think.
You do. Because you know what mom said? First thing my mom said is, ভালো হচ্ছে ও করছে কারণ কি ও অ্যাটলিস্ট বাংলাটা তো বলবে, বাংলাটা ঠিক করে বলবে, বাকিরা তো বাংলা বলতে পারবে না. That's something that there is a hidden Bengali in you. Don't you agree?
I do agree. And since my school days, like one of my favorite class teachers, she was a Bengali, Amita Banerjee. There was this girl in Shilpa Roy. She used to tie Rakhi to me. Even till date, she would send Rakhi every year without fail. It's been, more than 25 years? Yeah.
Wow. But thank you so much, Raj. You have so much heart in you that I think that is also the reason why you get so much love from everywhere else. And every time there is a victory for you, it seems a lot more personal to me and my entire family. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and all the best to you. Now you're your own Maalik.
Yes!
So kill it upwards and onwards.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.